Hi everyone, my name is Vinay and I welcome you all to Last Minute Coders. In this video we are going to make a dynamic nav bar. So if I click on these three lines, or you can say it as hamburger, you see this animation, and then we are seeing these three tabs like home, services and about us. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can make this dynamic UI, and if you click on services you will navigate to service page. If you click on about us, you are going to navigate to about us page, and again if you go to home, then this is the home page. And there is one more important thing, I'll not create like three different screens. Instead I'm going to develop everything on a single screen only. So let's start this video, and if you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, let's get started. So this is our tutorial for demo page. This is our screen. You can rename, like I'm renaming it as main screen. Okay, you can rename it anything as you like. So let me increase the size of this to 60. Firstly, what you need to do is go to insert. You see above here insert, or you can go to the left hand side here also. So you can go to any place. In this layout, you see, click on this layout, select the container, the last one. Okay, so this is the container. Rename it as like header container. Header container. Okay, so header, this is my header container. Let's create another container as well. Okay, so just delete this, copy this one container, click on your main screen, just paste it. Again click on your main container and paste it. So I've created like three containers. So first one is header container, the second is going to be my main container. Okay, or maybe not main but home container. This one will be my service container, and this one I'll just okay, again copy it here, paste it here, rename this one as about us container. So basically what I did is I created four containers. Okay, so just select these three containers, and for now don't do anything, just select this header container, go to its X property, so just make it as 0, Y property, make it as 0, width, here see this width, click on this width, and here you are going to see this formula tab. Here just write parent.width. So basically what parent.width does, it if I give it some color, so you can see it up here, so it covers whole width. Okay, now we need to give it some height, and if you want to give it some dynamic height, what you need to do is just type here like something like this, parent.height, and like if you type parent.height, it will cover whole area. So we don't want the whole area, we only want like the 10% of this area. So to cover 10%, just multiply it by 0.1. See, if you multiply it by 1 means the full area, 0.1 means 1%, 0.2 means 20%, 3, 30, 4, 40, 5, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and if you type like 1, then it is 100%. So I just type it like this, 1.1%. So whatever screen size we are on, instead of giving like height something like 60 or 100, better to give height like this. So if we are on a big screen, so this height will auto adjust. So the UI will look and feel same in all the screens. So it will give a better user experience. So see this. Okay, so this is fine. Now we need to align this home container. So for X property, for every container, make it as 0. Make it as 0. Now go to, and the Y property for this home container, service container, about us container will be what? Will be header container dot height. This header container dot height. What does this mean? Like the height of this thing is 76.8. Now if I go to home container, so what I did is I've given its height as it's y. Y means it's starting y. So this is the y axis. This area is the y axis, and this area is the x axis. So x I'm keeping it as 0. So see, it is starting from 0. Y from 76.8. So it will just start from, if I give it some color, like let me give it a blue color, so you will be able to understand better. See this is 76.8, and then from 76.8 I am starting my home container service and about us container. Okay, again for width, just give something like this, parent.width. Okay, and for all the container you should give it like this only, parent.width, right? And height should be parent.height multiply 0.9. Okay, why I multiplied 0.9? Reason, because this one was 0.1, this is 0.9, so it is going to cover whole screen. Or what you can do is, instead of this, either do this or do something like this, parent.height minus this header container dot height. Both are correct, right? Both are correct. The whole parent height subtracted from this height, it is going to cover the full screen. Say this. So it is covering whole screen. Okay, so both are correct. Now go to your home container, sorry, header container, and just create one label here. Okay, so let me give its x as this thing 0 only. I'll center align this. I'll give it width as parent.width. Okay, I'll give its height as parent.height. Okay, and y also I'll start it from 0 only. Okay, so here you can see its property what I have taken, x0, y0, width is parent.width, height is parent.height. Okay, now you might be wondering here, why haven't I written like this parent.height of multiply 0.1? Because this time label 1 parent is this header container, and header container height is this only, 76.8. So I don't need to give 0.1. Say if I give something like 0.1 here and give it some like maybe gray color, so see this, so 0.1 of this thing. If I write 0.5, so see this 0.5 of this thing. Okay, so instead just remove this, we don't need this. For color, I'll keep it as transparent. See this transparent color. Okay, I'll select this label. I'll center align it, make it as 24, semi bold. You can change the font as per your liking. Majorly in businesses we use the Sigo UI, so it's up to you. This thing you can keep it everything as 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and the color of this should be white. Okay, now you can give the label, go to this text property here, just inside double quotes you can give like, I'm naming it as dynamic page, something like this. Okay, and go to your header container. You can even add images. Okay, so go to media, image. Once you see this image, go to this image here, add an image. Just add anything. If I go up here, I'll add this logo. See, this is a rectangular logo. Okay, so we are seeing this logo here. I want to align this logo in this side instead of like simply doing this. If I do this, it will give me an issue. See this, if I'm dragging this here, firstly, for a very bigger screen size, it might happen that the x of this is 1266, right? So it is not dynamic. We need to make this as x dynamic. How we are going to make it? So just do this, parent.width. So what parent.width does is, so see this image is like here. So parent.width is like whole of this width, and it is starting from here. So we need to drag this image here in this side. So what we need to do is just subtract self.width from it. So if we do something like this, see, now it is properly aligned. Okay. And just fit and go up here. Where is this border radius? Make the border radius as 100. Okay, 100. I think. And the width of this should be, now see, for width I am using parent.height, and I'll copy this, and for height also I'll use parent.height instead of this height. So see, now it is properly aligned. See, and if you want to give some space from this side, so what you can do is simply just select this, go to X property, just subtract 10 or 20 from it. See, now it is fully dynamic. Okay, so this is done. Now what we need to do is we need to create a hamburger here. You see those 3 lines, right? So we will create those 3 lines here. So go to insert, go to icons. Okay, I can select any icon, like I have selected this plus icon, right? Let me change the color of it first. Let me make it as a white color. Okay, and for the border property, let me give white only. Okay, once this is done, go to this icon here, search for hamburger, and here you see these 3 lines will come up. Okay, now we need to align this also, right? So just make it as 0, y as 0. This width should be parent.height. Its height should be parent.height only. I'll just copy this, say this is a height property, see parent.height, and here see this is looking ugly. If you see up here, not looking good. So what you need to give is padding. So this is the padding. Just give 10 10 padding, 10 from top, 10 from bottom, 10 from left, 10 from right. And once you do this, see, now it looks perfectly fine, right? Okay, so currently it is doing nothing since we haven't built anything, so it is not going to like do anything. So what we will do is we will create one more container. So I'm just copy this about us container, I paste here. Okay, I rename it as left navbar, or maybe left nav container. Okay, so I renamed this. So I'll give its width as parent.width multiply by 4, and give its color as this red only, so that it will be visible, multiply by 0.4, sorry. So see this, 0.4 is way too large, maybe 0.3. Yeah, 0.3 looks good. See this, so we have created one container, this left nav container. Once we click on this button, this left nav will appear, and if we click on it again, it will just hide. Okay, see this. So this is how our app is looking for now. So in this left nav container, what we need to do is we need to create 3 buttons. So let me create first button. X property is 0, y 0. Width should be parent.width. Okay, height should be parent.height multiply 0.1. Okay, so this is the, and I'll not give any border to it. Border radius, I'll give it as 0. Okay, and the font size should be like 18 or maybe 20, up to you. Let's give 20. Okay, and this button is for home. Okay, so done. I've created one home button, right? So this is the home button, see this. And if we need to give some color to it, I'll give its color as this red only for now. And this thing, hover color, I'll say. See the code of the cell fill, just copy this thing, cell fill. And instead of this RGBA, this thing, just copy the cell fill. Okay. So see what happens is, see if I'm hovering over it. So the UI look good. Instead of giving like yellow, blue color, so just give the color related to your theme. Okay. Okay, this looks fine. This is my first button. So rename this button as like home button. Home button. I'll not give a space. I'll just write home button. I'll copy this and create 2 more button like this. The second one is going to be my service button, and the third one is going to be about us button. Okay, so we have created 3 buttons. Now service button, moving on to service button. See this, the Y property of this. So its Y should start from this one where the home button finished. Like, just copy this home button text, go up here, type something like this, dot y dot height. Okay, create a circular. Okay, maybe just copy this, go to service button and just type this code here. Okay, so see, and now go to this about us button, do the same thing here, but this time about us is start from the service button. So just type here service, right? Copy this thing, paste it here. So see, our buttons are finally properly aligned. And let me just give some different color for now, like this little dark color, or maybe this dark color. I'll choose this one. Looks okay. Okay, so I'll rename the service button as service. Okay, I'll rename this about us button as about us. Okay, this is done. The size of these text is way too large. Let me decrease the size to 16. Okay, it looks fine. See this. It looks okay, right? So if we are home screen, then if we are home screen, then this should be like this should be white. Its background should be like this. I'll just show you white, and the text should be this. Okay, maybe this. So if we are on the home page, it should look like this. Okay, and this button should get disabled if we are on the home page. Why we will again click on this home button. Okay, so for that, now we will use, and let me give the color of the service, sorry, not this service container as, like, I'll use different color. It's green. I'll use about us container as yellow. Okay, so if you are on the home page, home page, so see, I haven't created like 3 different screens. On a single screen I'm doing everything. So for that I have created multiple containers, right? Like header container. If you need footer, just create a footer container as well. and this home container, service container. So what we will just do is go to your app, go to on start of your app, just create like 4 or 5 variables. Like how to create variables, just simply type a set like var home visible. One variable is this. Initially make this as true, copy this to this, make it as a service. This is about us. Okay, make this as false, make this as false, and just create one more var left nav, or var left nav visible, and make this also as false. Okay, so you have created like four variables. For every variable we will use. Okay, like for home container we will use this var home visible, for service we will use this service, for left nav we will use this, for about us we will use this. Okay, so let me just copy these things out. Okay, and I'll just move this up, and we have this home button, right? Home button, service button, about us button. So go to home button here, just click on this drop down, go to on select property of this. We have this on select property. If you didn't find, then just simply type on select. See, it is already selected. We are on select. Let me paste these things here and just remove this left nav visible for now. Just keep these three. Right? If we are on home button, then this home thing should be visible. If we are on service button, then this should be visible and these two should be false. Okay, so I just selected these two. I'll go to on select of this. Okay, I'll paste it here, make this as false this time, this as true. Okay, so this I have done for service. See this service, so service I am making it as true, where home visible is false, where about us visible is false. If we go to about us, make service one false and about us true. Okay, once this is done, what we are going to do is now go to these pages. See this home container, service container. So if we go to home container, see this home container, go to the visible property of this. Just instead of this true, now we will use those variables. Where home visible, I'll use this variable. Okay, for service container I'll use where service visible. Okay, for about us container, go to the visible property and just type where about us visible. Okay, and for this thing, for this left nav container, go to visible property, type here where left nav visible. Okay, where left nav visible. Just copy this thing. You see this hamburger, click on this hamburger, go to the on select property of this. Okay, just go up here, type code like this. Okay, so what does it means? So it is saying if where left nav visible is false, it is making it as true, and if it is true, it will make it as false. Once everything is done, just go to your app, click on these three dots and click on run app on start. So see, when we start the app, we are on the home container. If you remember, our home container color was blue, service was green, about us was yellow, right? So see this, if I play the app and if I click on this, so we are seeing this. If I again click on this, this is hiding, right? If I click on the service, see the color is changing, but here it is not changing, but because we haven't coded for this. If I click on about us, see this yellow color. If I again click on home, again blue color. So at least this code is running fine. Now we will code for this thing, right? So just go up here, go up here. So we'll just say where is that? We will use this display mode property. Okay, we'll use this property, and instead of giving its color as this, what we will say, it's just keep the color as this only and make it as white, right? Okay, instead of this color, I think the color was this. Okay, so let's check the color is same for all. Okay, so if we are on this page, just disable this button. I'll say I just disable this button. So currently it is on edit mode. So this button is on edit mode. See, if I write something like this, disabled, so see, this button is now on the disabled mode, right? And for disabled mode, what I'll do is, firstly let me code this. I'll just type something like this. If, now if you don't understand if, just simply see up here, if logical test. So here we need to write some condition, then true value, then false value. So I'll say if we are on this page, where home visible, if this is true, right? If this is true, then keep this button disabled, otherwise keep this button in edit mode. Okay, simple as that. And I'll just copy this code and do the same for service and about us. Go up here, go to disable mode, just paste it here. Instead of home, type service. Okay, copy this, not copy this, and about us, go to display mode instead of service, right here, about us. Okay, so done. See, even if we are on about us, this button disabling yellow. If we are on this thing, this is enabling, and see this if we are on home. Now let me fix the color coding for this as well. Select all three by pressing Control. You can see this. I am pressing Control and selecting all the three. Now see up, display mode is disabled for if it is disabled. Here, just go to this disabled color, right? Here, see this disabled color. I'll make its color as this red thing. I'll make the background as white. Okay, so done. If I open this, you know, fine, right? One more thing we can do is, if we are going to service screen, instead of like this should get closed. If I clicking on home, this should get closed, instead of me again and again clicking on this. So how we can do this is, we have this thing, right? Just copy this code and go to on select of all of these. Okay, now if you click on this home button, go up here, just paste this code here. Okay, go up here, just paste the code here. Okay, go to about us, just paste the code here, and let me save this code. Then we will run this code, then we'll play the app. Okay, so see this, if I clicking on service, now it is closing, home closing, service closing. Now see this, when I'm clicking on this, see this extra line you see up here, see this border line, sometimes it doesn't look good, right? So to get rid of this line, simply here, if you want to play with, instead of like clicking up here, you can just press Alt of your keyboard, and you can also like play with from here also. So see this, select all of these by pressing Control. Here we have one property, focus, this focus border thickness, keep it as 0, or whatever your border is, right? My border is 0, so I'm making it as 0. If your border is 2, make it as 2 instead of like 4. Okay, see now, even if I click on this, now I don't see that extra line, right? See this, it is like it is working fine. Okay, Now for home container, just you can use one simple labels. Okay, make the label size as 30, and you can say like, this is my home screen. Okay, this is my home screen. Copy this label, just paste it in service. In service, just rename it as service screen. For about us, again paste it and name it as about us screen, right? Increase the size of this. If you want to align this to the center, just simply do the 0 0. Width, again parent dot width, and height should be parent dot height. Parent dot height, right? And just center line this. Okay, and if I go to this service screen, again we need to do the same thing for service, but for now I'm just keeping it as like this and just center line aligning it. For home screen, go to your home. Okay, this center line, make it as bold, whatever you want. Okay, make this also bold, make this for a label also bold. And if I play the app, see, this is the home screen. If I go to service, this is the service screen, this is the about us screen, right? And one more thing that I've shown you when I was previewing the app, like this thing, like this animation. If you want to learn this animation, I've already created one video on this. You can check out that video. There is one information button that is coming on this right hand side top. You can just click on that and just go to, if you want to learn this, how I did this animation, you can learn it from there. Anyways, without it also it look cool, right? If I select that, this, it looks cool. So I think this is it for this video. See, the service button is disabling, about us button is disabling. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something from this, and thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe again if you haven't. So till then, bye bye.